It's been a couple of days since the FX2 has just been announced, and I just wanted to share some thoughts about that camera. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of the lucky ones to get hands-on experience with it. CVP in the Creators Hub in Central London did actually have one in their store or in their Creators Hub where you could actually go down and book in a schedule to go view it. I missed the opportunity. The next time it comes up, I'm going to try and go down there to get a hands-on experience with the camera. But looking at the specs and seeing all the other reviews, I almost feel like I have kind of shot with this camera already, given the fact that I'm shooting now on the A7C2. I have an A7 IV in my other camera bag, so I'm quite familiar with most of the features that are on there. The camera is being touted as being one of those things where it's the innards of the A7C2 almost, but in the body of a FX line, FX3 type of camera. They have introduced a tiltable viewfinder, which I have mixed feelings about, and oddly enough, in the FX line, they've actually introduced a mechanical shutter. Correct me if I'm wrong, there is no mechanical shutter in the FX3. There's not one in the FX30. So now that it does actually have a mechanical shutter in this camera, it is actually a little bit more interesting to me. As before, I actually do have the A7C2 and an A7 IV. I would actually like to have this camera instead of one of those. For the videos here, I got an FX30 up top. That's just for the top-down shots, getting all the product stuff. I don't need a full-frame sensor for that. I just need something that I can rely on that won't overheat. In front of me at the moment, I've got the A7CII with a Ulanzi Cooling Fan to the back of it just to keep it cool. But overall, I am happy with the image quality coming out of this. The autofocus, everything else has been spot on. It's just there is that risk of it overheating, and the FX2 would actually resolve that. Am I suggesting that I'm going to be trading out the A7C2 for the FX2? No. But what I am saying is that if I had neither of the A7 IV or the A7C2, I can definitely see the appeal for the FX2. The sensor in these cameras are actually one of the best sensors in the sense that the dynamic range, the image quality coming out of it has actually been spot on, no issues, no complaints. Performs well in low light. And the only thing that I really did not like about the A7C2 and the A7 IV is when you go to 4K 60, it goes into a Super 35 crop mode. And unfortunately for the FX2, that is still the case. Now I actually searched on Google what is the difference between the A7C2 and the FX2. So now let me just read through the results of what they said in the AI overview. The FX2 offers several features found not in the A7C2. Primarily geared towards video production, these include a tilting electronic viewfinder, a cinema-focused menu, a video-specific features like anamorphic D-squeeze display. Then as you scroll down, it just expands a little bit more about those bullet points. Another thing to note as well is the dual-base ISO is actually going to be different, whereas on the A7C2 and the A7 IV, it's actually ISO 800 and 3200, whereas on the new FX2, it's 800 and 4000. So they should actually allow for better low-light performance. But without actually having the camera and testing for myself, I can't actually say for sure. Overall, my feelings towards this camera is that it would have been a great camera 2 to 3 years ago. If this camera came out about a year or two ago, I would have picked that up instead of the A7C2. But because now I already own the A7C2, I won't be exchanging it and kind of upgrading to the FX2. I do want one, as I do want a full frame sensor in front of me. I want a camera that won't overheat. I have got a workaround at the moment with a Ulanzi Cooling Fan, but me being me, I'd actually want one where the camera doesn't overheat. In an ideal world, I'd have the FX3 or A7S3 there, but I can't really justify having that as a glorified webcam or a single A cam for my YouTube videos. However, the FX2 is actually at a cheaper price point, so it would actually be a little bit more achievable for me to get the FX2. But as I said before, there is still a price difference between these cameras, and the cameras still perform very similarly. My biggest gripe with the FX2, I would say, is that viewfinder. And the reason why I say that is because I feel that viewfinder should actually be detachable. There's always going to be complaints, everyone has an opinion. But in my personal opinion, I feel they would have been better served selling that as like an aftermarket accessory. I'm pretty sure they could have done this, but I'm no engineer, so I can't say for certain. But they have in the past released an external viewfinder for the RX1. And that actually connected through the hot shoe, and it was an optional extra. If they had something like that for the FX2, which was also backwards compatible with the FS30, FX3, that would have been an amazing purchase. You could have then got the FX2 without the viewfinder for a little bit cheaper. And from what I see in the comment section, some people like the viewfinder and some people don't. So having it detachable gives people the option. It's also when you're putting your camera into your camera bag, it allows you to detach it and actually store things a bit nicer. Whereas because the viewfinder protrudes further back, it does change your bag configuration a little bit. As before, everyone's got an opinion, everyone's going to have a view on these things. At the end of the day, Sony are the experts, they're the ones making the cameras. Who am I really? I'm just really kind of sharing what my opinion is and what I would like out of a camera. There were a few days where I was actually really thinking about it, and I was really kind of like considering selling the A7C2 and then paying the extra for the FX2. But in reality, it's not going to do anything wild and change my life in any way. The only thing, I'll just have one less cable going to the Ulanzi Cooling Fan. So for the first time in a long time, I'm going to be sensible and not indulge in this purchase. But as soon as I get a hands on it at the Creators Hub at CVP, I might follow up with a bit more information about that camera. But for now, that's it. Cheers for watching.